The biggest mistake that Lucasfilm has made year after year is not acknowledging the fans' wants and needs and understanding their audience when it comes to things like Star Wars or Indiana Jones or anything related to some of the recent Marvel projects out there. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And let's get into exactly what's going on here between Kathleen Kennedy, Harrison Ford, Spielberg, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the whole gang related to Indiana Jones 5, and how it is facing a lot of what she likes to call premature backlash and very low box office projections, giving Lucasfilm a frightening trajectory for how this movie's going to perform on June 30th and post June 30th. So with that being all put out there, we know one thing, and one thing specifically about Kathleen Kennedy is that she many times is very much hypocritical as a person. She also is a very much, a drama-driven person where behind the scenes she's always causing a lot of trouble, causing a lot of creative roadblocks for others out there, firing people left and right, or creating such a negative environment to the point where creators just want to flat out leave. And this has happened endlessly with Star Wars, and it sort of happened as well with Indiana Jones 5. Let's discuss. So what's interesting about all of this is what Kathleen Kennedy recently had to say by making a somewhat apology, if you even want to call it an apology, to the Indiana Jones fans around the globe. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy recently promoting Indy 5 at last minute and getting ready to boost its marketing, she went on to make a surprise statement to the community where she delivered the following. "We here at Lucasfilm come to realize there are a large wave of dedicated fans and customers of the Indiana Jones brand to be rather upset with the approach that we aimed for with this film. As a producer and as a businesswoman, I did want to clarify that I and others here at Lucasfilm are sorry and do apologize if this film does not meet fan expectations with the legacy of the franchise that was kickstarted by Mr. Lucas and Spielberg. Not every film is going to be perfect, and we want fans to understand that not every creator is perfect either, and we believe James did the best he could to deliver to the audience. We suggest our audience to watch the film on the big screen before judging and deciding after, of course, if they enjoy it or not. But I press to be very clear that we are sorry and apologize beforehand if this film ends up not resonating with the masses, and that we take full blame for that responsibility." Now, I want to pause here quick. Now, again, this is a fake apology, not genuine at all, 100%. This comes a little after Bob Iger made that fake apology for Indiana Jones 5 and Elemental, stuff like that. We've seen this time and time again. They say they're sorry, and then they turn things around, and she does this again here, by the way. We're going to be talking about this, but we always see moments where Kathleen Kennedy begins to do this real hardcore damage control, really trying to kind of just bring fans into the theaters or to subscribe to Disney Plus and to get things rolling properly. To me, obviously, this is a very big problem among Lucasfilm because Kathleen Kennedy does not know how to handle audiences or people going ahead and seeing these movies or watching content on Disney Plus. She's always been very horrible at handling all of that from a PR move, at least, because her apologies are always like almost backhanded compliments in a way. I don't know about you guys, but it's almost like a backhanded type of thing where she's kind of like acknowledging that she's apologetic about what the fans are dealing with, but that at the same time she just shuts it right off. Let's discuss further. So, on top of this, she goes on to continue, it's always like Mr. Iger said, a learning experience it is, with these major IPs and brands to handle that we need to learn what and how the fans think. And that's also an evolution as we make films and shows. It was always in our best interest to make a great end to the Indiana Jones franchise for one last adventure. Here we go. And though we are still discussing a sequel to please the new fans and customers coming into this brand for new characters, we also try to respect the dedicated fan base that has been so loyal for decades. Apart from what Kennedy stated here, guys, however, This is rooted to what happened behind closed doors, where Disney forced Kennedy to make some level of a premature apology ahead of the release of Indy 5 as they embrace Last Jedi level backlash, of course. Now first, Bob Iger apologized and demanded Kennedy to do so after. Whether or not this is genuine is very clear and apparent to all of us, by the way, as they do realize that this is certainly nothing more than increasing one's image of taking responsibility. And you know what, guys, I gotta say one thing here, too, as well, is that Kathleen Kennedy was actually pushed by Bob Iger to make this apology. If you even want to call it an apology, I don't see it as an apology. I see it as trying to save your image, trying to make it seem like you're taking responsibility, and just trying to do whatever kind of damage control possible well beforehand, well before the movie has even hit theaters. They know that this movie's going to blow at the box office. They absolutely know that. They are 100% certain about that, especially after what happened with Elemental, and separate from Disney, especially what happened with The Flash. Not even Batman could save that film. And that just goes to show you that the same exact thing applies to Indiana Jones. Not even Indiana himself can save this movie, because it's really a Helena movie. That's all it is. It's a Helena movie. Phoebe Waller-Bridge played a very big role in the development of this script, much like how she contributed to Bond 25, aka No Time to Die. She was the one that wanted Bond to die. She's also the one that supported and created the story of Bond and his 007 moniker, or whatever you want to call it. His status being handed over to a woman for a short while. That was all her idea as well. And she's going to be coming back for Bond 26. So it's really relentless stuff. As much as Barbara Broccoli doesn't seem as bad as Kathy Kennedy, she's almost getting to that level by letting Phoebe Waller-Bridge dismantle that franchise as well. But I digress. Guys, again, we've seen this time and time again. She's apologized about the Kenobi series, about The Rise of Skywalker, and also about Solo. She really apologized hardcore for Solo: A Star Wars Story, really tanking at the box office, not performing well, how the fans were totally against it for a very long time. And so this is yet again another example of Kathleen Kennedy really trying to appear what she's not, and that is, of course, being a sympathetic person toward the fans. She's really the opposite, quite frankly. So anyways, it's interesting to see that this is being put out there by Iger and Kennedy 10 to 11 days out from the box office results hitting to the general public, and it just goes to show you that there's really nothing that they can do at this point. Indiana Jones can't save this film. Any kind of cameo in this movie that, by the way, we have discussed this, there is one major cameo in this movie. I don't know if you guys want to be spoiled about it, but we've talked about that in the past. Let's just say it's a character that Indiana Jones is very much connected with, so to speak. And no, it's not Shorty. So interesting, guys. I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear